What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Japan. Today we are by the Integra Type R again, and I figured since I talked about how much I paid for the car, now it's time to tell you guys just how much I spent on car inspection here. So we finally made it, just got off the train, so I'm going to pull the car out right now. I'm kind of hungry. I think I'm gonna have to go to the convenience store. Let me just pull the car out and then we're just gonna take a drive. Nikuma,
1個。
1個。
肉まんが先ですね。袋に入れますか？
大丈夫です。
はい、280。
お支払い方法をお選びください。タッチ音が鳴るまでレシートをお受け取りください。
はい、お待たせしました。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
Alright, so we're back, and after that little trip, I showed you guys, a little bit of Japan, but I just want to tell you guys gotta try this thing called a pork bun here in Japan. When you come to the convenience stores, it's nice and warm, and it tastes amazing. It's like almost like a giant dumpling. All right, now it's time to talk about the fun stuff. We're gonna talk about shaken. Japanese car inspection is super strict. In Maryland, they literally, when you buy a car for the first time, they literally check everything. Like, you have to check everything. Everything has to be in working order. And I'm pretty sure that's why I was able to get a license and just convert it, as opposed to having to take the test and everything, because our rules and regulations when it comes to cars and inspections is pretty much similar. Many people just don't know about cars here because, they just kind of listen to whatever their mechanics tell them. And if their mechanic tells them, hey, it's going to be this amount of money, they just pretty much pay it because they don't know any better, right? Owning a car here has been, so far, relatively easy. I haven't had any issues, pretty much because I already had an idea of what to expect. But I'm going to walk through basically how much it costs and everything that they do here for inspection. There's two types of inspections that you can get done. So the first one being that you can just pretty much take it to your local dealership or your local used car dealership or auto repair shop that specializes in inspections, and they will pretty much handle everything for you. So I'm going to pull out a piece of paper that shows you how much it costs from the dealership where I bought my car at. I'm going to show you how much it costs and how much they were charging to do shaken. And the shaken only lasts for 2 years, so you have to get it done every 2 years. So I'm going to put this up on screen for you right now. But basically, for 2 years, the used car dealership pretty much said that the price for shotgun would be about $200 for the Jibaiseki, which is like your auto insurance on the road. And then right below it, we have something else. I feel like that's the weight tax. I'm gonna put it up on screen, the translation. And this is basically what you pay for how much your car weighs. So the more your car weighs here in Japan, the more money you're gonna have to pay. If the car is, you know, 5 years old, 10 years old, and then 18 years old, the price just goes up and up and up. For the weight tax. So the newer your car is, the cheaper you're going to pay for this price. And the lighter your car is, it's also going to be cheap as well. And then right below that, we have, I think, some sort of stamp fee. I don't know really what it is exactly. And then below that, there is 2 like additional like starred prices that basically I would only pay if I were to take it to this used car dealership. So it's basically like a markup. The total cost to do shotgun at this used car dealership would be 85,000 yen. And I'm going to put the conversion up on screen for you right now. And that's what I would have to pay in Japan for 2 years only. So what I did is I took my car all the way, well, not all the way, it was like 9 minutes up the street, to a inspection station. So basically, you guys all know back in America, the inspection stations that we go through in America where you drive through and they check your emissions and they check all your little stuff and everything, and then you just drive on through and then you pass or fail, right? It's similar to that here in Japan. They literally do the same thing. I'm going to put a demo video of someone else doing shotgun here. I gave the guys all my paperwork. They check it over. They say, okay, here you go. They gave me my paperwork. So then I started to drive through, and right before I got in, the guy said, is that an aftermarket muffler? And I said, I don't know what you're saying. And I was trying to play it dumb, but clearly he obviously knew it was an aftermarket muffler. You know, he's not stupid. So then he said, okay, I'm gonna have to check your exhaust because it doesn't look like it's OEM. I think it read like 97 dB was the loudest it got, because actually this exhaust has a silencer on it. So the previous owner, I guess you pretty much have to have a silencer on this car in order to run it to pass inspection. But I mean, now that I passed inspection, I can take everything out. He checked that and he says, okay, you're good to go. You can proceed in. So I go in, and the first thing that they check is the emissions. So we have to stick like this tube into the exhaust, and you just sit there and wait and watch the sensors, check for everything. After I passed that, I said, okay, that was easy. I expected that. Next thing is I drove forwards, and then when I drove forwards, I went onto this like dolly type of thing where it was almost like a dyno, like you guys know, like a dyno where you kind of like drive in on it. So I drove up on that. The guy was instructing me as I was going along to like tell me like, hey, move forward, go, stop. And then when I stopped, he said, okay, turn on your headlights. So I turned on my headlights, and then there's this machine that kind of goes left and right to check the angle of your headlights, because if your headlights aren't aligned properly here in Japan, you'll fail. So you'll fail, right? So I did that, and then that took a lot longer than I was expecting. I was actually getting kind of nervous because it wouldn't pass. Like he had to like put a piece of paper in front of one of the headlights so that it would pass. And then it finally passed, you know, after like 30 seconds or so. It was a long 30 seconds. And then after that, he says, okay, next, you're going to need to accelerate up to 40 kilometers. So I guess the reason why they do this is they want to check to see if your speedometer is reading properly or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. So I did that, and then I went all the way up to 40 miles an hour, and then he said, click this button. He gave me like a little device, and he says, click it when you hit 40 kilometers. Now, luckily, these speedometers are a little too old, so they don't read properly. So I use this device right here, this DEFI advanced system device to watch my kilometer. And then once I hit 40, I just clicked it immediately. But it went a little too fast. And he said, you know, like you hit it too fast, but you know, whatever, right? It clearly shows your kilometers per hour, so it's no problem. So after that, I had to check my brakes. So he told me to step on the brake as hard as I could and then rip the e-brake as hard as I could. And then I passed that. That was easy. Everything's working and functional. And then the last step was I drove under this like pit where there was men underneath, and they literally like told me to pull the e-brake and then don't touch anything, don't touch the wheel, don't touch anything, shut the car off. And they had like all these hooks, and they were just like yanking on everything underneath the car, checking the suspension, making sure there was no tears, rips, or leaks. And yeah, it was a really aggressive experience. And then after that, after I passed that, I drove out and the guy was like, okay, give this paperwork to the guy and then he'll give you your stamp. The paperwork looks like this. So I have to put this on my windshield and take the other one off. And that's it. The next time I have to do shotgun is February 28th, 2025. So I have a lot of time to go here. And, you know, I just told you guys the price of how much it costs to do shotgun if you take it to a dealership, but I didn't tell you much. I didn't tell you how much I paid. So the price I paid, it was 60,010 yen to do shotgun for 2 years. That's where I'm gonna cut the video today. Let me know, would you guys own a car here in Japan or would you just take the trains? Comment down below and I will see you in the next one.